Hey, friends. Welcome to Dishing on Divorce. I'm your host, Lisa Lisser, CEO and founder of LZL Coaching, a boutique coaching firm focused on divorce, relationships, and life transitions. My work is designed to help you navigate the known and unknown challenges of divorce, to help you separate the business of divorce from the emotions of divorce, and to inspire you to launch the next chapter of your amazing life. Think of me as your guide on the side. Today, on this bonus episode of Dishing on Divorce, I'm excited to speak with Jessica Weaver and Donna Cates. And the reason I'm so excited is because next Monday, August 19th, we are launching our collaborative divorce manifesto entitled Divorce Decoded. This book project is unique because its authors, who each specialize in a different area of divorce, are committed to helping women wade through the myriad of issues they will face. For me, this writing effort aligns so perfectly with my vision that people going through divorce need a team. No one professional can provide all the support that you need when you're going through this truly disruptive moment. So, Jessica and Donna are women who created this incredible project and invited me to participate. Now, before I bring them on, I'm going to let you know that you are watching and listening to the new streaming network, home of Going Solo Media and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Radio, podcasts, and TV. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Roku, and wherever you find your shows and podcasts. Welcome, Jessica and Donna.
Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, Jessica. Hi, Donna.
Good morning. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you. I'm going to tell everyone a little bit about who you are, and then we'll get into it and talk about this amazing book. So, Jessica Weaver is a certified divorce financial analyst and certified financial planner. She's the founder of Wealth Boutique and Pinkfix Productions. Jess is a 4 times best-selling author, speaker, and TV show host of Women Behind the Millions. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for next Monday when the book comes out. Thank you for having us.
Wonderful, wonderful. Donna Cates is a wealth advisor, a speaker, and a certified divorce financial analyst since 2000. Thank you so much for being so committed to this work. She empowers and educates women to take charge over their finances. And as she quotes, a man is not a financial plan.
And that is true.
It's so true. Donna is the featured author of Financial Trendsetters, and she has this anthology book, Divorce Decoded, launching next week on August 19th, and we'll tell you all about that. So welcome again, Donna and Jessica. So my first question that I always like to start is asking you, what's your story? And in this case, what led you to this amazing project? So Jess, do you want to start?
Sure, I'll dive in first. I grew up in the financial industry. My father's been an advisor for about 40 years. So I would be stuffing his envelopes on the family room floor watching cartoons when I was a little girl. And then interning at his office, other insurance companies, other places as well. So I could get a good feel for what the industry was like. And then in 2010, I joined his firm. It was myself and a lot of male advisors, and nothing wrong with male advisors, but I quickly felt like I did not fit in. I had a lot of creative ideas and I felt a little restricted, not within my father's firm, but more on that larger broker dealer side of things as well. So in 2022, I left his firm amicably and launched the Wealth Boutique, which is where Don and I started our working relationship as well. And we've branched into several states. We have about 7 or 8 advisors that are part of the Wealth Boutique, each with their own firm brand presence within us. And at the same time, around the same time, we launched Pinkfix Productions, which is a multimedia company to just get more education and resources out there for women. I was recently interviewed for an article, and they asked, who's our competition? And I said, our competition is education, a lack of education for women. And the more we can get things like this show out there, Divorce Decoded, the book, multiple books, events, magazines, shows, podcasts, the more empowered women are going to be, the more educated they're going to be, and they're just going to make better decisions with their money.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, Jess, it's really hard to move out of the comfort zone of home, even though there were challenges, but you were with your father and following his lead, but you're an entrepreneur and you recognize that to really grow, you had to let go of something that you knew and try out something else. And we all sometimes get stuck in comfort zones where it might not be the most comfortable, but it is what we know. So we stay in those places, and taking those steps forward is hard. But, you had such courage. So can you tell me a little bit more about how that felt when you first took those steps?
It was many years in the making. And I can relate to women who are going through divorce, or they've been thinking about it for many years, because I get it. It's not just your decision. It's affecting the entire family dynamic, your immediate family, the outskirts of your family, things at work, at home, your personal life. And so it took me a while to get to the point. It was speaking to a lot of women too, to get their courage. So community is key for women in any big transition. But I got to the point where I kind of knew I had outgrown the role that my father had seen for myself. And that also I was ready to start creating something, and something that was really unique and special for women in the industry. So it was a few different things lining up, and that intuition just kept lighting up. The more I got closer, I was speaking to the right people. I was surrounding myself with the right people. And then I just started to get my ducks in a row. And I'm actually at my parents' house right now for the show. I spent 2 weeks here. They live at the Jersey Shore. And I was downstairs at the kitchen, and it was a Sunday morning in the summer, end of summer. And I said to my father, I'm going to have to leave and branch off and do something else. He's like, no, we're going to get this thing figured out with the broker dealer and compliance. I said, no, this is just the start of what we want to do. We're creating something amazing. And he gave me his blessing. He did.
Wonderful. I mean, there you saw, you took a risk and it has exploded. I mean, I can't tell you how amazing it is to know that you're out there as a voice. And when women see other women being successful, and your show is Women Behind the Millions. So it's like the whole idea that women can have millions is foreign to a lot of people. And so, that's just how we frame it. If we put it into the universe, we're going to make it happen. So I just wanted to share all of that with you as well, and our audience. But now I want to hear a little bit about Donna.
Awesome. I'm happy to share. And I will tell you, I've been in this career for 24 years, and I started in the broker dealer world, and it was very confining. I didn't know anything any differently. It was a second career for me, and I definitely had a passion for helping people. I was automatically drawn to women because I was sensing that women just didn't know what they needed to know, and they were afraid to ask the questions because they didn't want to look like they weren't informed. So that's when I decided to focus my practice on working specifically with women. I have plenty of male clients as well. However, my focus has always been on women. And in my practice, I was often referred clients after their divorce was finalized. Their divorce attorneys would send folks my way. And the problem that I was encountering or discovering was that all of the financial decisions about how the assets were going to be divided had already been made by the
Mm.
time they pulled me into the conversation. So that's when I actually sought out the divorce certification that both Jessica and I have, because I thought there's got to be a better way to do this. So I spent a lot of time and energy educating attorneys on how we literally could be part of the divorce team and help them get better results for their clients, make their clients more happy, and make them in turn more successful. So that's kind of how my path came to be in this, creating this book. Because the reality is, like you shared with the mug, a man is not a financial plan, and women, whether we choose to divorce or divorce is thrust upon us, or if we outlive our spouses, at some point we're going to be on our own. So that's truly my motto. We women have to step up and do the things that we need to do to be financially savvy. And that's what's empowering about this whole creation here.
Yeah, totally, totally. Thank you so much. Um, you know, as someone who became divorced, and my divorce was final when I was 50, you live like a whole life and you expect that your man is your financial plan, because marriage is a financial institution. And, it was created because there needed to be a way to take care of this family unit. But the fact of the matter is, now that women can step more into their own voices, we really need to do that. And that's where the CDFA helps so much in every divorce scenario, because the lawyers are responsible for the legal divorce, but there's also a financial divorce and an emotional divorce and a social divorce. So legal might actually be the easiest to take care of, but it's the finances that are guiding your future. And that's really rough. So thank you for jumping into this pool of divorce work. You're so appreciated. Jess, do you have something
I
you
was
want
saying,
to?
you hit the nail on the head. When we're looking at the future, right? The attorneys are like, how are we going to divide this today? But we want to see, how is this impacting you tomorrow and in 20, 30 years, or for your kids' college, for your retirement, and looking at things that the divorce attorney is not going to: taxes, inflation, your living expenses, and whatnot. And that's why I love the work that Donna does.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. So tell me about how this project was created. Like, what encouraged you or inspired you to get started on putting this book together?
I have to say that Jessica is the reason I was able to do this. So working for the brokerage firm before, I met Jessica in a coaching program. And that's where I literally got the courage to step out of my comfort zone, like we were talking about a little bit ago, and to start my own firm. So it's through her guidance and her work with Pinkfix production that I was encouraged to come out and create this anthology. So I think, if you had asked me 3 years ago if I would be writing a book, I kind of would have laughed. But now it's kind of like, okay, what's my next subject? So thanks to Jessica for that inspiration and the coaching on how to do this effectively.
Oh, amazing. Fantastic. So Jessica, tell me, what was it that led you to this topic?
So I've written a few books myself. I've written 3 solo books, and why I love the writing process. Obviously, I fell in love with it. I did 3 within, I think, a 5-6 year period, about every other year. It does feel like childbirth, right? You're writing for a period of time, several months, then you have the editing, you get the revisions. It's a pretty long process, and it's also a very vulnerable time, similar to divorce, right? You're putting a lot out there, and to put your methodology onto paper and to tell your story, it kind of feels like you're walking around naked for a period of time. People know a lot about you, people that you've never met before. But I love the writing process. Writing also allows you to become a better speaker, get very clear on your thoughts, how to articulate them well to your audience. And in the summer, end of summer last year of 2023, we put together our first anthology book, multi-author book, Financial Trendsetters. And Donna was one of our featured authors for Financial Trendsetters. And we had so much fun, right, Donna? These women coming together, we formed a community. We raised $5,000 for a scholarship for a young woman who wants to study economics, because we want to bring more women into the industry.
Amazing.
And yeah, I was talking to actually a divorce professional about the anthology book. And as I'm saying it out loud, I had this aha moment. We need to do one for divorce. Because you think of where are the big gaps for women in education, coming back to my first point. We know there's a pay gap, right? Women earn less money on the dollar for the same job as men. I strongly believe it's because of an education gap. And lack of education, a lack of worth. So if women don't feel worthy to earn them more money, they're not going to feel confident to ask for that raise or to ask for a bigger settlement too. So I was thinking, where are the other gaps, especially for women in education, and divorce came up. How can we give women more support on the divorce front? So once I had that aha moment, I think I sent Donna 5 different voice memos. It's like, I have an idea. Are you with me? We jumped on a call and we just started thinking of women that would be amazing for this book. And it was such a collaborative effort of what specialists do we want? We knew we needed some divorce coaches like you, Lisa, therapists, litigators, mediators, somebody on collaborative divorce, a tax accountant, a business evaluator, right? So taking the woman all the way through that journey of divorce, from the first time they're thinking it to saying the D word out loud to their first hire. And then through to the other side, when we bring in our co-authors like Katie Cables for the style and Marianne with the photography and the confidence. Now and Drew, finding your new sanctuary in real estate. So now women coming out of the divorce of what's next for us? Kind of like what Donna just said, what's the next project, right? Giving them kind of that pep in their step again. What can I accomplish now? Instead of it feeling limiting, let's make it feel really expansive for women coming through divorce.
Yeah, that's so right. And I'm so appreciative, because when people are going through divorce, they tend to circle the wagons and get smaller. And their community gets smaller because they don't want to talk about it with everybody. And yet what we really need to do is expand the community. You use that word community, but this is a community of divorce experts who are so committed to giving women the tools. And as you said, it's education, education, education. One of my degrees is a master's in education, and I never realized I was an educator until much later in life. I was a litigator before. But when you draft a brief or argue a motion, you're educating the court. And how do you become that person so that now you recognize where are the gaps? And that's what you saw, Jessica. And I know that Donna has been part of it 100%. And I've been so encouraged in my own writing. I have to be honest, when I had this opportunity, I just jumped, because I've been wanting to write it down and haven't had the time or the pressure, or it was never right, or, all of these stories that are within all of us, and to get it on paper and have the confidence, that's what you guys provided. So I want to thank you, but I'm so excited about the book. So I'm going to ask you an education question. So what did you learn as you read what all of your experts were sharing? What was your big takeaway about what you learned?
It's for me or Donna, or both.
We're both. So
I'll go first then. So for me, for reading all of the input, the thing that I realized is that what's going to make this book special is that we all are sharing our stories. So many of the books that we have are the how-tos that talk about the technical aspects of divorce. But in this, even though someone might be writing about their specific area of expertise, they're telling their personal stories and how it impacted them, as well as sharing client stories. So I think this will resonate with so many people, because as someone reads this book, they're going to hear and see themselves in the stories. And everybody has a vulnerable story. And some of us share more of that information on a daily basis. Some of us don't. But I think everybody in the book came away saying, whew, I didn't know I had that in me. And oh my goodness, it feels so good to share it. And my hope is that us sharing those vulnerabilities are really going to be impactful and make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Jess, what is your takeaway?
I thought it was extremely helpful to get the perspective and strategies from so many different aspects of divorce, from the legal side to the real estate to the emotions. Dr. Deborah, our therapist counselor, is explaining that she really is just a reality check for women who are going through divorce of, is this a normal, healthy relationship I'm in? Because so many times, especially with manipulation, it's the slow progression that you don't even realize you got sucked into this kind of dynamic as well. Learning the different tools and technology out there to help with healthy communications with Jennifer Perry, even with the wardrobe, Katie Cable Style, explaining how emotional clothes are and triggering, thinking of different moments when you wore that, or you would put on a certain outfit and he would berate you over it or make you feel horrible, and you started to change how you dressed. And that's a form of control and manipulation. So I found, selfishly, as a professional who help women in divorce, found it amazing to be able to take in these different aspects of it to come at a more holistic approach. And then also just to have these all-star women to then send clients to back and forth, and forming this almost incubator community for these women to really help them out in every aspect.
Oh, that's fantastic. So we're going to take a quick break now, and then I'll jump into a couple more stories. And we're back. Welcome, Jessica and Donna, one more time. There were a couple of things that jumped out at me when you both were just speaking. Donna, you talked about how the authors, we all shared our own vulnerabilities, and that it's so scary for people to admit that they're vulnerable. But what you see is that the vulnerability is our strength, right? Our vulnerability is our superpower. So that when we find the courage to actually acknowledge that we have them, these vulnerabilities, then we can walk through them and actually walk along with them and have that as also part of what our identity can be in a positive way. And with Jess, I was thinking about you had a lot to say about the author who wrote about clothing and how she's the stylist. And when outfits are connected to what happened to you at the time that you wore that outfit, it's about your identity and how you hold yourself out. And so one of the powers I felt in this book, and I feel in this book, is that we're giving women an opportunity to redesign their identity. And so you redesign your wardrobe. you redesign your mindset about finances, and you redesign your mindset about how you can show up in the world, based on the fact that you've got this inner strength that you've been hiding. So that's really powerful to me. So I'm wondering, what do you think that people need to know about the book and how it can help them and move them forward?
I would say, as Donna said, the women sharing their stories is just showing how much this is a heart-led book. To the point where, and I would love for Donna to talk about even the book proceeds being a labor of love and what we're doing with the book proceeds, as well as we're gearing up for the big launch on August 19th. So Donna, who did you decide to partner with for the book proceeds?
All the proceeds from our book are going to go to Savvy Ladies, which is an organization that actually provides financial literacy and education for women across the U.S. So it's spot on with the message that we're sending. And we know that it's going to make a big difference for that organization as well as everybody that reads it.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And I was so happy when you found that nonprofit, because we really are offering this book as a service, because every author who's in the book sees themselves as a service leader. Like, I'm trying to serve my community. I'm trying to help them. And we don't know all the resources that are out there. So Savvy Ladies is a resource that we all just jumped on and said, thank you so much for doing that work to find this, because again, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so much of divorce is not knowing what's in front of you, not knowing what's behind you, or having a story about what's behind you that you could probably rewrite that story too and find your strength within that story. And so again, Jessica, I see that you have something you want to share.
Yes, you keep talking about the power. I recently saw Katie Kay speak, right, from the author of The Confidence Code, amazing speaker. And she said, and this was relating to women in the C-suite, so women executives, CEOs, but we are on a decline. The number of women in the C-suite is declining. And the term power kept coming up as she's speaking about this, and how women, we don't like power, but we don't like power in the traditional sense. Really the power that men have created, right? It's a one-sum win. So one's winning, one's losing. Very scarcity minded, very competitive. But she gave an example of power being, for women to be authentic, that is a form of power. It's allowing yourself. So when you talked about identity, that just kept ringing in my head of the more women are allowing themselves to be authentic, they're taking their power back. They're finding out their own identity of who they are. And it's an evolution. So as they go through the journey of divorce, through the journey of healing too, they're still going to be evolving to this. That, are we allowed to curse, Lisa, on this show?
You can curse, yeah.
Okay. Becoming this badass lady by the end
Yeah.
of the divorce, and taking that, and not just that, but owning the power and embracing it and allowing themselves to show up in an authentic way. And to me, there's nothing sexier than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have also noticed that some of my clients are coming to me in their late 40s, 50s, or they're hitting 50, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm hitting 50. I'm so old. And I share with them that they're just beginning. They're just starting out. Forbes recently came out with a listing of 50 over 50 women who are making strides in the business world. And one of my really good friends is on the list. And I know her name is Diana Levy, and I'll have to share this episode with her, but she is the brains behind Undercover Quinoa. So this is a snack that is now actually being served and handed out on United Airlines flights when you're going to get your pretzels or your Undercover Quinoa. And it's really phenomenal. She was in her mom role, trying to figure out what her child that had a gluten allergy could eat for a treat, and experimenting in her kitchen. And she came up with this amazing snack, and just jumped on it. And for the last, I don't know, 5, 10 years has really been, probably not 10, probably 5. She's been working to expand the reach. And it's about having that confidence in your identity. So maybe her identity was, I'm the mom, I got to feed my kid. And how taking that creatively to shift into a different kind of power, that I can actually create something that the market needs. And I use that in reflection on what you just said, and with divorce, that we are recreating our own identities. And so taking what is like valuable, our vulnerabilities, our power that we didn't necessarily see as power, and then launching. And that's what I think this book allows people to do. Because as Donna said, you're going to see each other, yourself in many of these stories. And that's when you're like, I'm not alone. I have a community. I'm being educated.
You have these trailblazing women who most of them have gone through it themselves or have witnessed it with a parent, a family member. They got through it, and they're showing this light for other women to be able to get through it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Donna, is there something you want? I see you're about ready.
Right. And it's hard not to interrupt, but Lisa, I do want to share this with you because, when people are thinking about divorce, typically the first place their mind goes is hiring that divorce attorney. And that makes sense because it's a legal process. We have to have those attorneys involved. But I think what people are going to realize as they read our anthology is that it really does take a team, in that even though we may be devastated about this divorce, it may be the worst thing to happen in our lives. And a lot of times we may feel like a victim. That's okay for a minute. We got to feel our emotions, deal with those emotions, and go through that process. But there is so much more that's out there. And I think, God keeps giving us life lessons until we learn what we need to from those life lessons. And when people are working with folks like yourself, divorce coaches, counselors, and other professionals, they are actually allowed the opportunity to open up their minds to all the possibilities that life has to offer them. So that's what we hope that people will see. Yeah, you got to get through the rough part because it's not fun. None of it's fun, but it can be a magnificent life change in a positive way.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So how can people get their hands on this amazing book?
Ooh, good question, Lisa. Yes, so all of the co-authors will be sending out the link. Is going to be available on Amazon on Monday, August 19th to pre-order the ebooks for 99 cents. I mean, what a deal to get these 15 different these amazing women point of view and resources for 99 cents only on Monday, August 19th. You can go to pinkfixproductions.com. We will have the link posted there right away come Monday, early in the morning, probably midnight. We'll have the link up there. But anybody who follows Donna, Lisa, us at Pinkfix My Money, we'll have the link available for Amazon to grab and pre-order the copy.
That's fantastic. That's so fantastic. And also that 99 cents goes to Savvy Ladies. So
Yes.
every dollar that comes in is going to be used for us to support the women who really need it and who are being served by Savvy Ladies.
Yes.
So that's exciting. That's exciting. What else can you share with me that you think we didn't get out yet? Like, what do you think also needs to be out there so women know that the book is their friend. It's their manifesto.
Yes, I love the books. I fell in love with the book writing process because a woman could be at her most vulnerable part. She could have mascara tears coming down her face, cozied up with a blanket and a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, and be able to meet these incredible women and get clear. And I think that's the biggest thing women want going through a divorce is I need the next steps. I need a plan. I want to feel like I'm moving forward in a healthy way, not missing anything. And that's what this book is, right? It's these incredible women who are just guiding you along the process. And you don't need to come out of your house in order to engage with them. You can do it right there with the book.
Great. Fantastic. Donna?
I will say that my hope is that when people are reading this book, that they understand that there are resources available to them and that they're not fearful to take advantage of using those resources. So that, and this is a thing, and Jessica said this earlier, if we haven't experienced divorce ourselves, we know somebody who has. Everybody knows somebody who has gone through divorce. So my ask is that everybody share the information about the book, because even if it's not something that you think you would benefit from reading right now, there is somebody that you know that would benefit from it. So please do help us spread the word about it and get this in the hands to it with as many women as possible.
Oh,
Talk
100%.
about it, because we don't even know if women are thinking about divorce, if it's even on their radar too. So just letting people know what's out there, and then they can go secretly get the book, get themselves prepared to make that decision, whether they want to move forward or not as well. So yes, spread the word, talk about it, engage with people. It's a huge, especially with people who are in an abusive relationship and you don't know how to help them. This is a nice gift to be like, just listen to these different perspectives on it, and you could see if you're ready or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And so much of my work is helping people at the very beginning when they don't know, they're in the should I or shouldn't I phase, or they're in the this just happened and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And because there's so much miseducation out there. So this book is something you can have in your hand, but with that 99-cent copy, it's just on your Kindle or on your other reading device. No one has to know what you're reading about if this is private for you. And so at the same time, you're getting all of those resources in one spot. And that's what's so incredible. It's in coaching, we say it's an action step. Like what are our next steps? If you're just thinking about divorce, or you have a friend, or you have a niece or a daughter or a mom who really needs to make a move, this can be such a gift. And it's step one. And then you realize that there are so many people out there who are there just to support you, just to help you move through this really hard process. That itself is very heart opening, right? It makes you feel like I'm not alone. And that's a huge thing. So I was like so thrilled to be part of this process. And again, when you talked about stories, right? Like I was thinking of which of my clients' stories do I want to share that can really be reflective of so many people. And, all of our stories are unique to us, but there are glimpses in everyone else's life that have a little bit of resonance. And that's what we wanted to do to connect everyone. So I'm so thrilled to be part of the process. Jessica, how can people get in touch with you?
Sure, at thewealthboutique.com or jessicaweaver.com. And then all of our books, events, magazines are at pinkfixproductions.com as well, or at pinkfixmymoney on Instagram.
Fantastic. And Donna?
Same. You can reach out to me at moneymatterswealth.com. Email, of course, is awesome. And you can use this link right here to book a discovery call if you're interested in learning more about my specific practice. One other thing that I want to suggest is that I hold a monthly divorce workshop that's held virtually. So the only requirement to attend that is that you be a female. We do create a safe space for women. So you can visit my website to get a link to that if you're interested in learning more about the divorce process, the emotional issues, and the financial concerns.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Thank you so much. Both of you are rock stars, and I'm so glad that we were connected.
Yes.
I want to share that I was connected by one of the authors in Financial Trendsetters,
Yeah.
Terry LeGrand, and it's been so empowering to be part of this process. So people can reach me also at lzlcoaching.com. And I'm excited to be launching this with you.
Yes.
Thank you for being a part of the project, Lisa. You got it right away. And this book is just filled with thought leaders, right? Women who are willing to step up and get the resources out there just to help the wider community as well. So thank you for being part of it. And thank you for having us on your show. This has been so much fun.
This has been great. Thank you so much. And so I will close to let everyone know we are watching and listening to the new streaming network, home of Going Solo Media and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, podcast, and TV. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Roku, and wherever you find your shows and podcasts. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you.